Hey guys, so I just got back from a big show and I wanted to talk a little bit about what to do when shit happens in the show ring. So we all love to brag about we had these wonderful rides and we won and everything was perfect. But the reality of it is that you're gonna have mistakes in the arena. Your horse is gonna spook, you're gonna go off course, you're gonna miss a flying change. There's lots of things that can go wrong, and if they are gonna go wrong, it's gonna happen in the show ring. So then the question is, how do you deal with this? Since it's gonna happen, you have to have a plan for what you're gonna do. So my advice is, the first thing is you have to recover and keep riding. The good part about dressage is that you get a different score for every movement. So if you completely screw up one movement, it's just one box, it's just one mark. You still have a lot of boxes left in the test and you've got to recover. And so you get a 4 on one movement, you better get a 9 on the next movement. So if your horse spooks, get him back on the 8s, keep riding, make that next movement as good as it possibly can be. The second thing is you have to make a plan. So if you had a mistake, you have to keep riding and recover, but you also have to learn from that mistake. For example, at the show, one of my horses was really afraid of the far end of the arena. So the next time that I came around to the far end, I was ahead of it, getting the horse in shoulder in, off my inside leg, position to the inside, and that way I could prevent another mistake from happening by being ahead, thinking ahead, and having a plan of what's going to happen. The third thing that you want to do is you want to learn from your mistakes. So I've been reading this book called Mindset. And it's really interesting. It talks about failure and learning from your mistakes. When you have a perfect ride and everything goes well, you don't learn anything. But it's the rides where you have mistakes, where your horse spooks, where your horse comes off the 8, when you miss a line of changes, those are the tests that you can actually learn from and make things better. So for an example, if your horse is really spooky at the show, you need to get your horse exposed at home. You need to make sure that your horse stays on the 8s, that you can ride past something scary and have your horse stay and shoulder in. If you missed a line of changes, you have to make the changes more reliable, more honest, all of that. So just because you have a terrible ride it's not the end of the world. That's what makes the difference between a good rider and a great rider. A great rider sees a difficult ride and a ride with mistakes as an opportunity to make your horse better, to train them better, to make them more honest. It's also really important that you don't just blame the external factors. You can't just blame the footing or the person that spooked your horse or the weather. You have to take responsibility. You have to own it. Your horse needs to be able to compete in any situation, in any conditions, and that's the true test. The more through, the more supple, the more honest your horse is, the better. So that's my advice. One, when shit happens in the show arena, number 1 is recover. Keep riding, get it back together as quick as you can. 2 is quickly make a plan so that the next time you're planning ahead, when you come through that corner, when you come to that flying change, whatever it is, you have a plan for how you're going to make it better the next time. And then 3, learn from your mistakes. So reflect about what happened and then come up with a plan, because you can make it better. You have to have a growth mindset. You have to believe that you can become a better rider and that you can make your horse better. So I hope that this helps. As a rider and a trainer, we all have bad days. You know, there's days that you just feel like you're the best rider and that you're the top of the world, and you have days that you just want to quit, hang up your boots and your helmet and never ride again, because this is a really hard sport. It takes a lot of time.